Well, welcome y'all to Sober the Juggalo's YouTube channel. We are interviewing V Sinizter today. What's up, my dude?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing great. What do you got going on right now?
Actually, before getting this interview started, I just got done working out, trying to get back on the horse and walk around looking like Luke Cage again for future business opportunities going on. And I gotta look like a comic book for what I got going on next year and from beyond that.
There you go. That sounds good. So let's just jump right into the questions. Get these questions rolling. Tell us about your sobriety right now.
My sobriety. Let's talk about how I got here. Back in the late 90s and the early 2000s, was going through a whole world of hell. Just it was hell going on. Was drinking around the clock, and when I was in the military, was doing that too, showing up to formation with a hangover or probably still buzzed, and it wasn't a good thing. When I finally got past the demons that were bothering me back then, I decided that I'm just gonna stay as sober as much as possible. Now probably every blue, I can't even say blue moon, maybe rarer than that, I may have like a drink or so. It's something real small, but aside from that, I'm pretty much, I don't drink at all. Like, the only thing, if I need anything to kind of lift my spirits to get me going, it's always working out, composing music, writing, anything of that nature. But drinking, though, that is extremely rare. It's got to be a special occasion for that, and there's really not a lot of special occasions. So for the most part, 24/7, I'm sober. Even when I get mad and life stresses me out, I work out, calm down, do some push-ups or something before I turn to the bottle. And I don't do no drugs, nothing at all.
That's great. And I want to point out to a lot of the people who are watching this video, one of the key things for juggalos in recovery is you find a recovery program that works for you. A lot of people, like including myself, I've been sober 7 years now, and not a drop for 7 years. But that's what works for me. A lot of people look down on people in sobriety who are capable of having that once in a while drink. But if that's what works for you, that is amazing, and at least you got control of your addiction, and you got through your demons and all of that stuff.
Yeah, the thing with that is, I tell my second novice all the time that basically what you want to do is identify the problem. Once you identify the problem, make a bunch of solutions and find a solution that fits the problem going on. But the last thing you should do is turn to a drink, because it's the same thing with crying or whining about a problem. You can cry about it as much. I mean, you can be mad about the problem, but you can cry about the problem all you want. Whine about it, it's not going to fix the problem. Same thing with drinking and doing drugs. When you use that as a crutch to try to deal with the problems you're going through, it is either going to make the problem worse, or it's just not going to fix the problem at all. What you should do before even turning to any vices of that sort is identify the problem and try to find a solution and find a way to bring the problem to the solution so it eliminates the problem altogether. But drinking definitely is not the way.
I 100% agree, and that goes for any addiction out there. If you have any sort of addiction, do not go towards that addiction if you're dealing with any kinds of problems. Find that solution to that problem. Dude, I am loving your energy. I'm feeding off of it right now. You got amazing energy, man.
I just like jumping through this phone and just, it's a lot of positive stuff going on lately. I was talking to my left hand in my business, and we were discussing future business plans, and he was just loving the energy that I'm exuding. It's because of a lot of stuff that's going on that's keeping me focused. Life still has its ups and downs, but I found what kind of anchors me through the storm that goes on, and it's making me happy. So the energy you see is just me waiting to get back to what I got going on later. It is business, but it's fun business though.
As long as you love what you're doing, that's all that matters.
Definitely.
Awesome. That's amazing. So I heard that you were saying something about you were in the military. What branch were you?
U.S. Army. I went there as a 19 kilo armored crewman. That's pretty much driving the M1 Abrams tanks. I was in basic training in Fort Knox for 4 months, then went to Fort Riley for 4 years, and then went into the reserves for another 4 years for a total of 8. Kansas was something else, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not even so much being in the military, but the situations that were going on when I was in the military that kind of brought around the demons and the drinking, but I got those fixed and what have you, and I got back on the wagon, and the wagon is still going. As I said, for the people watching, if I say that I'll probably take an occasional drink, it's an occasion. It's a celebratory thing, but it's not like a whole bottle and I'm just drinking, tossing them back, anything like that. It's probably just like maybe a shot glass, or if that or so, and then that's it, I'm done. Pretty much what you also want to do is look at the people that surround you too. You gotta look at your surroundings, because sometimes you could be around people, they may mean the best for you, they might be friends or what have you, but the thing is, sometimes they may have demons that might try to find your demons, and once those demons get together, that's where the problems come from. So you want to surround yourself with positive people, positive energy. And that, as I said, I mean, if you do completely dry, no drinking, that's awesome. Do that. Stay the course, what have you. But if you are one of those that probably do have an occasional drink, don't make it occasional. Make a celebratory thing. Maybe like a Christmas party, Thanksgiving, or something. But don't make it a weekly thing, because you might make the excuse that, oh, it's once a week, and then next thing you know, 1 week turns into the days going down to you drinking every day, and you back off the wagon, back in the hell that you're trying to get away from.
You lost control all over again.
Yeah, if you stay dry the whole time, stay dry, nothing wrong with that. There's plenty ways to have fun without, you don't need drinking, you don't need drugs or anything like that to have fun. Trust me when I tell you, you can have fun without drinking and drugs and all that.
Hell yeah. All right, I got a question. I've been wondering about this question since I was told to ask it by one of your people. How many of your projects did you make the beats for off of a PlayStation?
TV music. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with. Hey, I will be the first to admit that I did that. Let me see if I could recap this real fast, because I'm known for being verbose, and in interviews I try to keep it short. So let's get to it. MTV Music Generator related projects for the PS1. There was Morning Star Soul of the Beast. That was my debut solo album. There was the original Hunting Season from Psychopathic Records. There was a lot of issues with that, but I take full responsibility for that. There was the OG Haunter. No, I don't think I did that one on the PS1. No, I take that back. Not the OG Haunter Fear, but there was those only two that I can remember coming from the PlayStation that were actually released. Soul of the Beast, Sins of an Angel, OG Haunter Fear. After that, I did use the MTV Music Generator for a long time, but it was a PC version. The PC version, believe it or not, can be integrated with a studio. The only problem I had with the PC version for a long time is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the difference between step recording and real-time recording, but step recording is just pretty much placing the patterns in place, and that's primarily what the MTV Music Generator does. Now, there is a real-time recording thing in there, but it's based off of old data. Well, it's used MIDI. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Sorry about that. I never used real-time recording until probably later in the life of using the MTV Music Generator, and it was full real-time recording. What that means is that I set up a convoluted way to listen to a metronome and record real-time by playing a keyboard, and I will record it in a separate program and then import it into the music generator. So basically, if I recorded to a metronome, I had to make sure everything was right, because there was no way for me to use a thing like quantize to put all the notes in order if something was off beat. So I had to make sure it was right. But the MTV Music Generator for the PC was actually the thing. I mean, it did Soul of the Beast. Well, pretty much Soul of the Beast, if you follow my discography, Soul of the Beast, all the way up to the most recent thing I did, Natural Born Kill. Well, no, let me rewind that back. Sorry about that. Pale Horse. Pale Horse was the last time I used the MTV Music Generator, but it did a lot, though. Soul of the Beast. The album itself got me scouted by Interscope, Geffen Records. It put me in the a category for Detroit Music Hip Hop Awards as an MC, along with King, Gordy, Invincible, Paradigm, who used to be Kid Rock's DJ. The MTV Music Generator did a great deal for me. Now, the PS1, I did get my record deal with the PS1, but that was only because in those days, you couldn't exactly pirate anything. Now, I want to say I don't pirate nothing. Everything that I use now is bought. whether it's MIDI keyboards, MPCs, programs for computers, and I got a workstation I do all my music on. Everything is workstation based, and I spent a lot of money on it, a great deal of money. But back in the days, that wasn't the case. You had to pretty much, it was coming out of the late 90s, using hardware and what have you. So when I think it was Codemasters and Jester Interactive created this thing called MTV Music Generator. My cousin introduced me to it. I was coming back from the Army in 1999. I was playing with it, and I was like, wow, you can make beats with this, and something clicked. The next thing you know, took off from there. But I stopped using the PS1 version of the music generator in 2000, the very end of 2002. Matter of fact, before I went and did the race release parties with Jump Steady in Florida.
Wow, that is...
Oh, yeah.
That is amazing that you were able to do that with a fucking PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1, yep.
That's amazing. So I listened to your new release, Haunt of Fear 3.
All right, ask away.
So when I listen to rappers, I love rap, just in general. I love rap. And I love how you can tell where they get their influences from. Now,
Please
you
tell
are
me where it came from.
You are a very, very interesting person, because I heard the best of all of them in your raps. I heard some Bone Thugs in there. I heard some Biggie in there. I heard some Tupac in there. And just the way you rhyme and the storytelling that I heard some ICP in there. Like, dude, you're the full fucking package.
I heard that so many times over the years, and I'm trying to show that to the world.
Dude, I am truly, truly impressed. And a lot of rappers nowadays don't have the talent that you have. When one artist can take all of these people and put them into one fucking song, that is fucking mind-blowing. It's extraordinary. It's amazing. There's not enough adjectives in the world to describe what I felt when I listened to that whole album. I just listened to it nonstop. It's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that,
dude. It's amazing.
I got way more coming.
It's amazing. So I heard you talk about Psychopathic Records. How was it working with Psychopathic?
All right, let's see if I can get the full scope. I mean, it's so many years ago, and I hope if Joe, Rob, or whoever see this, they already know it is no animosity or what have you, none at all, what have you. I told Joe it was business. I understood it's business because my family come from a music background and what have you, all the way to my grandma, cousins, brothers, and everything. So I understand it's music business. And when it comes to Psychopathic, the first time I got there, when I met everybody, this was when Alex Abbott was running the label. I met everybody. Okay. Everybody loved Rob. Rob was outstanding, amazing dude. I will say when I first, and I want to make this clear, when I first met Alex Abbott, Alex Abbott didn't seem like he was too keen on. You could tell when somebody kind of looks at you and they're not really impressed or what have you. So when I first met him, shook his hand or what have you, but he kind of looked at me like, yeah, just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, but I was new in that scene and what have you. Didn't get a great deal of the behind the scenes as I got later in life. But no, Rob was cool. Joe, love Joe. Joe cool. Despite how some people may feel about Joe, personally or whatever the case may be, Joe real cool. I never had no issues with Joe. Maybe one thing, but it was small thing, miscommunication on somebody. They misinterpreted what I said in the interview. It caused a small little rift way back in 2004, but it wasn't nothing major. We didn't move past that, but no, Joe cool, Rob cool, Joey cool, Bill real cool. Some of the people I met there, I'm not sure if they still with the label now or not, or exactly how much downsize of Psychopathic did, but at least for my time there, everybody was cool. And when I kind of put an asterisk on Alex Abbott, that was the first time I met him, like in 2002 when he first seen me. But subsequently after that, at the I want to say the Big Ballers Christmas Party. That was in 2002. And some other shows after that when I met Alex. He was real cool. He gave me a bottle of Don P, but the bottle was so big, it was like, yeah, you know, I don't really drink like that no more and what have you. So I ain't think, you know, I could have sold it to one of my hometown. Big, had to be at least 200 or some more dollars. Big bottle of Don P, but Alex cool. So my time with Psychopathic, I had no complaints at all. I actually had another shot to get with Psychopathic, but one thing I mentioned earlier, and also tell my daughter, I mentioned earlier, was that if you have problems, you got to find a solution to it. There was an issue that came up back in 2005 when I had a second shot at Psychopathic before Boondocks got there, and before AMB, and before the subsequent rift that happened with M&E and Psychopathic. But like I said, that's water on the bridge. It had nothing to do with Psychopathic at all. It was just some people on my team that said something that they shouldn't have backstage that kind of caused them to kind of back away from me, only because of the person in particular being attached. But we moved past that, and I did subsequent shows with them, talked to Joe here and there and what have you. Talked to Rob. Last time I talked to Rob was some years back when he hit me up with a DCGC, and when I did a gathering again in 2017. Now, I'm not anticipating if I'm going to perform at the gathering again or whatever and everything. My primary focus is just doing what I'm doing, and it's like that thing with the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. So I'm building Stormrook, and I got a lot of stuff going on with Stormrook, and I already know some people coming. One of my childhood idols in Nodis Mastermind, when I was going through my page to check the responses to certain things I'm posting on Instagram or wherever, I seen that Mastermind started following me. I was like, hold on, whoa, this Mastermind is Nodis, you following me? I didn't think I was on your radar, but he ended up following me what I got going on IG, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. So
there you go.
It won't be long because, Mastermind followed me on IG, but he's not the only big time person that I had interactions with. I had interactions with Necro, September Morning, Jacob Vargas. He played Baby Joker Friday, and he's also on Enrique Iglesias' show on Netflix. And a plethora of other people that's in the mainstream and big time, what have you. Just because of stuff that I did, whether it was fitness, writing, music, or whatever. So I anticipate, so long as I stay the course, stay focused and busy, more will come. So you never know what's going to happen in the future.
Exactly. So we're gonna switch lanes here real quick. I've got a different type of question to ask you. So I interviewed Gilgamesh a few days ago, and we got talking about the Dark Carnival. You worked with Psychopathic. You understand the Dark Carnival and how a lot of people see the Dark Carnival. What are your insights on the Dark Carnival? Does it impact your life? Do you have some sort of faith? Do you have what is it for you?
What is the Dark Carnival for me?
Yeah.
The Dark Carnival, how can I put this from my perspective? I want to say it's more like visions of probable and possible futures, and they're giving you an insight into not only the personality and traits of mankind, but you as an individual. Example of that, I had some issues that happened back in 2011. I don't know if it's kind of documented. A lot of people know about it. Like pretty much, if things didn't go a certain way in 2011, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now, because that would have been it for me in 2011. I made some mistakes, messed up big time. I own up to it. When what's the name of that album? The Missing Link, the Lost album. When that came out, I listened to the Missing Link, and it was like the Missing Link kind of tapped into what I did as an individual in 2011, and it was just kind of putting my sins out there on display and made me rethink what I do and exactly where I find myself in life. Now, if you were to go to each of the Joker's cards, start from Carnival of Cons, work your way through Rainmaster, Riddle Box, the Great Malenko, Jekyll Brothers, Braith, and so on, you'll find that each one has a different trait. I mean, sometimes it may feel like they just say the same thing what they did before, but there's a difference in each one. And as I said, not only does it tap into the good or the darkness that's in mankind, but also as a reflection of yourself. Like, basically, you can't just say that, well, this person and that individual is evil, they're going to get punished because you're getting judged all the same too. If the Dark Carnival is like the judge for the dead, or they're probably just like judges for God. If we're going in a biblical sense here, like if you're familiar with the Bible, I'm not sure if you are not, or for the people listening, if you're familiar with the Bible, God uses all manner of being for the purposes he has. Like, he, in the book of Job, he talks about him chaining down Leviathan. He has power over a powerful beast like Leviathan. And Satan still answers to God. Satan seeks concession with God to accuse man. And I mean, it's in the Bible. He freely goes up to heaven and has concession with God to accuse man. And God tells him no. Basically, he has faith in Job, and that Job will pretty much stay true to his faith in him, what have you, no matter what Satan throws at him. So when it comes to the forces of darkness and good, like, in a sense, you would probably have some people think, like in a Hollywood sense, that the devil's all just evil through and through, horns, red body, whatever, and everything. God is all light, when it's probably more political theater, if you will. And where the Dark Carnival falls in, the Dark Carnival will probably fall under, I want to say more or less loose law enforcement for God. The Dark Carnival is probably the law enforcement for God. You got the police and law enforcers, you got the judges, the jury, and so on and so forth that falls with each Joker's card. Like you could look at on Fearless Fred Fury. He probably would be like the top lawman. He's the fist of vengeance, what have you. If you don't have self-respect in yourself, he come to beat your ass and what have you. Self-respect too.
Oh yeah, that's a really cool way of looking at it. That's never thought about it that way before. I'm gonna have to keep that one from my pocket.
Oh yeah, I got something for it. Like I said, despite me doing my own thing, I still keep up with what's going on in the underground to a degree. And one thing I will say is, long before the gatherings and everything, I was listening to ICP. I've been listening to ICP since Carnival of Carnage, what have you. I'm not going to be one of them people saying I've been listening since Basement Cut to Dog Beast. I didn't hear Dog Beast till after probably Ringmaster, so because I came across it and what have you. But no, I started with Carnival of Carnage and Esham and everything. And then when I decided to do my own thing, I started in 1992. But when I did V Sinizter was probably around 1999 or 2000, long after Esham, ICP, and all them was doing their thing. But I was still trying to do my own thing, though. Everything just happened to converge, and here we are now. Everybody in the Wicked Underground, and yeah.
Yeah, man, you keep rocking what you're doing. You're doing amazing work right now.
I appreciate that.
Who your top three? Give me your top three collabs that you've done.
Top three collabs I've done? Okay, I want to say Defect, but Defect doesn't feel more like a collab. I already told him that whenever we rock out on stage together, it's more of a tandem than it is a collab. So, if I had to say collab for the sake of collab, top three, wow, that's tough. I've done a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of unreleased stuff too. But if I had to say collab-wise, it would have to be some people that made me want to bring it, so I wouldn't get shown up on a track. Jay Reno comes to mind. He's definitely in the top three. Amazing MC. Class is another one too. Class is a monster. Class is a monster, but like I said, I don't want to exclude nobody because there's just so many, but people that come to mind, like I said, I just say some collabs don't feel like the collabs. They just feel like they're going to jump on the track no matter what. But I can't do a top. I just got to say the people that I remember. I'll try my best to do a top three. It would definitely be between either Ghetto Devil or Cataclysmic. Cataclysmic, formerly Killer Cat. Dude is outstanding. Like, wow. Cataclysmic is outstanding, but that don't mean I can't forget other MCs too. McNasty, Menacide, Gruesome, Staples, the Skullface Madman, James Alias. Like I said, I've done a ton of collabs with Happy, but if I had to pick specific top 3 that made me want to bring my A game and what have you, it definitely would be Class J Reno. And I'm sorry, it'd be between Ghetto Devil and Cataclysmic. Ghetto Devil he is raw. I've been knowing him long before the underground knew who he was. He used to be at UNLV, and me and him attended the same high school, and we was rocking underground shows. Him and his brother Pharrell. Well, I don't think he go by Pharrell. No, I forgot his name. Furlough, that's his name, Furlough. I don't know if he's still rapping or not, but me and Furlough was in the same class together. We came up in the same group. Same thing with Ghetto Devil. We came up together in high school. Then subsequently Ghetto Records after that, and so on. But Ghetto Devil is an absolute monster. Cataclysmic, do not sleep on Killer Cat. Man, I don't know how the underground feel about Killer Cat, but Cataclysmic, you need to go check this dude out. Follow his podcast. Killer Cat is wild. I can't forget Staples, the Skullface Madman. He got some stuff coming. That's all I'm gonna say. He got some stuff coming.
All right.
And I'm not sure if Menacide still do music or not, but Menacide was awesome too. Gruesome too, but I can't nail it down to 3. But if you had to put a gun in my head, definitely. The tie would be between Ghetto Devil, Cataclysmic, Reno, and Class.
All right. So, out of all of these collabs, who are you missing on you want to collab with?
Out of all the collabs and who I want to still collab with, I talked to the ROC. We got something in the future. I'll just say it right now because the only thing left coming out for me is Enoch's Concerto. If you're following what I do, you already know the last thing coming out right now for V Sinizter for the time being is Enoch's Concerto. So expect the ROC is going to be on Enoch's Concerto. There's some people my company are eyeing right now. I don't want to give away too much. I want to be a surprise. A long time ago in the 90s, you could be surprised by who's on the album and mystique around the album, but with the advent of social media, there's too much stuff given away. So I don't want to give this one away, but I'll say that they're big. They are real big. One person that I definitely talked to a long time ago, I want to get on the track is Mastermind. I talked to him back in 2001 when I did a show with him, 2002. I mean, shoot, since he followed me on IG now, I'm gonna hit him up again, because hey, you can't go wrong with a member from Nodis and what have you. Like, he OG. I want to get Mastermind on track, but ROC is definitely though. I know Killer Cat. Me and him got a track coming up on Enoch's Concerto, but I'm trying to think of the people missing. They're really, I can't really say there's many people that are missing I want to collab with, and that's not an egocentric thing. That's not saying that I'm better than anybody. What I'm saying with that is, when it comes down to an album, I want people to buy my albums and projects that I do off the merit of what I do. Because basically, if you're buying my album for who's on that album, you might as well go pick up their album because, you're only buying my album for who's on there. I want you to buy my album for what I do. So I try to limit the number of guests I have on there because basically I want people to enjoy what I do. Now, if I have a guest on there, it's because I really feel Tech 9 is still hot. There ain't no doubt about that. Tech 9 is hot, but I'm pretty sure you notice over time, everybody who could afford Tech 9 was trying to get Tech 9 on their album because, if I get Tech 9 on this, maybe people pay attention to me and what have you. So that's not to say I don't want Tech 9 on there and what have you, but if I get collabs with anybody, and it's not just limited to like the underground and mainstream too, but with the genre that I'm in, it don't matter if it's Twisted, ICP, or whoever. If I get anybody on a collab, the collab has to make sense. It can't feel like they're just on there for the sake of having a name on there and what have you. Because if you follow Haunted Fear, you see how cohesive it was. It was all narrative, story driven, posted. It was all put together, not just like I go record a track, slap it together, call it an EP, and put it out.
Yeah, you put a lot of work in the album.
Oh yeah, so I'm putting a lot of work in Enoch's Concerto. Everything gels together. It's cohesive. It's narrative, like Pale Horse was, and like Morning Star was. So I'm not just putting an album together just to make a whole bunch of tracks and pick the best ones or whatever and say, all right, this is the album. Everything has a point because it connects to my previous albums as a whole larger entity. So if I put anybody on the album, the track that we on has to make sense. It has to. It can't be like, it can't be a track that's just totally out of left field. I slapped them on there just to try to get a buzz for the album, whether the song makes sense or not. Like if I was, say, get Violent J on the track, Shaggy 2 Dope. If I was to get ICP on there, the track has to make sense for what they do and for what I do. We have to meet somewhere in the middle so it won't feel like it's just out of place and it doesn't fit them at all. What have you. Like it has to fit what they do as Insane Clown Posse. It has to fit what I do as V Sinizter, because the first and foremost thing I want to say is what I do it's not just a name, but as I said, follow what I did. You know, there's a gimmick around it. There's thought put into it. It's not just V Sinizter the rapper show up on stage with just urban gear or whatever and everything. There's a lot of thought that goes into it. So V Sinizter.
Hey, Tech Nine's really good at picking who he collabs with. One of my favorite collabs that he's done is the one with T.I. on the song On the Bible. He had the reggae artist on there, I believe, too. And just how all three of them just meshed together so well. Their voices complemented each other. Their styles complemented each other. It just turned into one beautiful art project. And a lot of people in my opinion, a lot of inexperienced people who, like you said, just throw some shit together and throw it out. That's the wrong way to do it. You got to put your heart into this music. You got to put everything you have into what you want your fans to know about you. And you want your dedication to show, you want your effort to show. That's what everything is about. And a true artist, which, in my opinion, you definitely show that you are a true artist because of how much effort and how much of yourself that you put into your music. I can only imagine the hours and hours and days and weeks and months that you put into all of the music that you've come out with. Even the Haunt of Fear 3. Just the style of it and the storytelling, and make sure all the storylines hit the same at the right time, and it's amazing. Dude.
I really do appreciate that. That's your reaction is exactly why I do what I do, because if you feel that way, hopefully there's other people that feel that way too. As I said, I don't just slap stuff together just to slap it together and call it this. Like, I comb through everything. And I mean, if you ask around, I'm pretty sure you heard about the Legend of Pale Horse taking so long to come out. There's 4 different versions of Pale Horse. One of them is actually complete from way back in 2000. I never released it. It has collabs on there too from McNasty, Ghetto Devil, Chamber, a guy named Lyrical Twister, J-Dub, and some other people. It's complete. Never released it because as I evolved as a musician and artist, I felt like I could probably do something superior to that. So I shelved it completely. Believe me, there was a lot of time and months put into that album. Never released it. I mean, some tracks may have been released here and there, but I never released the album at all because I felt like I could do better than that. And I would shelve an album if I feel like I could start all over from scratch and do it again. That's what happened with that Pale Horse. It was supposed to come out in 2003. But when my former label, Fallen Entertainment, split and I went with Deviant Productions, I was like, well, Pale Horse was created when I was on Fallen, and it's for that time period. If we're starting from scratch all over, I feel like I can do better. I know I can do better. So I shelved Pale Horse, did Soul of the Beast, and I made the right call. Because Soul of the Beast, at the time, we had another manager on the label that was doing like the mainstream stuff for me. Oh man, he took Soul of the Beast, and as I said, I got scouted by Interscope Records, Geffen, opened for Ludacris, was in the Detroit Music Awards, did a Sony showcase, and that was from Soul of the Beast by itself, just Soul of the Beast. So I made the right call. Yeah, made the right call, shelving it, made a more cohesive album, and Soul of the Beast did Man, I gotta thank my resurgence and what I'm doing to Soul of the Beast, because that album did it for me.
Damn, man, that's amazing. I love hearing these types of stories. I love getting to know the artists and how much work they put into it, and then the karma that they made from making the right decision come back to them full circle. I love this shit.
Oh man, I'll tell you, I like I said, I made the right move by shelving the original Pale Horse and putting out Morning Star. Now that's not to say that I'm right about it. I'm not right about it. Let me get that first and foremost. I'm not right about everything. There's a lot of times I'm wrong about things, and I will own up to it. But as I get older and with more experience under my belt, I learn how to make the right moves, so that way there won't be a lot of errors. Like Great Stairwell, that came out in 2017. Made the right moves of going with the producer James Alias. He produced that album, and I took time over and over to make sure all those tracks gelled together. It was the right move to come out with it, but it was the right move to come out, but probably the wrong time, because the company that I'm doing right now, Stormbrook, just wasn't. It wasn't running like a well-oiled machine like it is now. Now it's a monster. Just we put out stuff, we get it on time, out. At that time, though, I was just rebuilding, rebranding. I still put it out, had no regrets about it, because Fago Lovers gave me a spotlight on my song, Something Wicked. I didn't even know that Fago Lovers did that. I just happened to go on Fago Lovers and check out the news, and I seen, wait a minute, they did a spotlight for Something Wicked on it. Wow. I was like, okay, well,
I actually remember seeing that one.
Oh yeah, I was like, wow, Fago Lovers covered Something Wicked. Then it was supposed to be Haunted Fear 3 next, but I made the ultimate decision, like, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to take my time with that one, because I don't want to rush anything for the sake of just putting it out there, because whatever you put out there, it's hard to take back. You could probably say never mind, but case in point with Hunting Season, the original one for Psychopathic. A lot of technical issues, but I thought, well, I'm on Psychopathic, so maybe me being on Psychopathic could minimize the damage control. Was I wrong? I learned my lesson, and this time around, I take time with everything. So I came out with Kill God next, but I didn't have all the gear that I'm using right now to put out Kill God. I only had like maybe a fourth of everything I got now. And Kill God, I'm not gonna dog out Kill God. I'll just say it wasn't the best, what I felt like I could do at the time compared to what I can do now, but it was still a step in the right direction. I put Kill God out. But Haunted
Progress, 3, that's all we can strive for is progress. That's the best thing that we can do.
Oh yeah, but Haunted Fear 3 was a step in the right direction. That's not even the best that I have. You're gonna be surprised with what comes out. Haunted Fear 3, took my time with it. My administrative business partner, CN Matthews, helped me with some of the things on Haunted Fear 3. Staples and Skullface Madman, who I recorded at his studio, Forest Room Studios, he helped me with some of the things on Haunted Fear 3 along with Josh too. We made sure that everything was airtight on Haunted Fear 3 for that time period. Now, granted, that was in the summertime, and I made a track for Haunted Fear 3 last year. Trust me, some stuff I come out with now is pretty old, but I'm updating. Haunted Fear 3, I updated the sound, got better equipment, changed some of the music on there and the instrumentation. And well, your response to Haunted Fear 3, once again, showed that I made the right call. So with Enoch's Concerto, I wanted to put it out in January, but I will say that it's a delay on that only because it's a double album. It's gonna be three different albums. There's gonna be one with 2 discs inside of a digipack that's gonna have original music on it. Then there's gonna be 2 separate jewel case CDs, a Heaven disc and a Hell disc that's gonna have different songs on there. All of them gonna have they're gonna probably have maybe up to 16 or 17 tracks a piece on the Heaven disc and Hell disc, and the dual disc on the main disc is gonna have more than 17 tracks too. So you're essentially probably gonna get almost 40 songs from me because it's a double album. I'm taking my time with it. Oh yeah, double album. That's why it's called Over to the Heaven and Hell, Enoch's Concerto. It's gonna be painstaking, intricate, and the tie-in, what I'm doing with Future Business, Vigilante Strike. I talked to my partner CN about that every day, explaining to her that basically I'm working on Vigilante Strike right now. I also do video game music too. I'm putting video game music compositions together. I'm working on that in conjunction with working on Enos Concerto, because one thing about doing rap and hip hop is there's certain perimeters you got to stay within to make sure that it stays being a rap. Because if you're doing anything else, it's not rap, it's something else. So there's certain invisible limitations, if you will, to Enos Concerto, because it's primarily, if nothing else, a rap album. With Vigilante Strike, I'm covering multiple genres. I'm covering hard rock, metal, country, or big band marching, orchestra music, pop, R&B, techno. I'm covering everything. So
what you're telling me is you're pulling a Tech 9. Because that's exactly what fucking Tech 9 did on something else, I believe it was.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, man. I'm getting all excited over here.
yeah. And it's like I gotta study those genres thoroughly and deeply, so that way I can make sure that the rules that apply to those genres are followed. So that way, when people hear it, they know that that's exactly what it is. I'll just say this. I was working on something last night, stayed up to probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and putting the instrumentation together. Gotta be some of the best instrumentation. Man, I just cannot wait to work on Enos Concerto to translate everything I'm learning about the equipment I'm using, the instruments I'm using, and the notation, musicality, and everything, and apply that to Enos Concerto. Now, if I would have worked on Enos Concerto first, it's going to be a dope album. It is, because I'm going to make sure it's going to be dope. I will delay it as long as I need to make sure it's done right. However, since I'm doing Vigilante Strike instrumentation first, then I know how to improve upon Enos Concerto that much more, so it won't sound linear. Because I'm pretty sure the only artists that come to mind, I know that their music that they spit over that isn't linear will probably be Tech 9 and ICP. Not to say that nobody else do it. I just haven't ran across it yet. Like you get a basic instrument, 16, whatever, it has the verse, chorus, and everything, and they might have a few fill-ins and change up the transitions in it, but for the most part, from beginning to end, it's linear. Where ICP, like their last album, Red Fred, Fearless Fred Pure, I'm listening to that and I'm like, I like what they did, because it's just so much stuff going on. It's not chaotic, but it's like there's just so much going on that arrests your attention, as opposed to just one linear beat going on from beginning to end. You may nod your head, but you might get bored. Not so much bored, you just might fall into a zone of listening, and it might go out where ICP.
It doesn't draw you in, it doesn't excite you from the inside and make you want to explode.
Yeah, because there's just so much going on a track. Like a sound you might hear at the beginning of the song, you necessarily won't hear. It'll be something different in the middle of the song. It'll be something completely different by the end of the song, and vice versa. I like what they're doing and what have you. So I will say there might be an influence, not so much as carnival music, because what I'm doing for Enos Concerto relies heavily on more metal and orchestral sound, metal, maybe some soft R&B and everything, but because it's the heaven and hell disc. But the influence that may come, well, actually, let me run it back. I'm gonna keep this real short. If you know who Public Enemy is, right?
Of course.
So you familiar with their old sound team, the Bomb Squad?
Mm-hmm.
As much tribute as I'm paying to ICP, saying that they do music that's kind of non-linear, I can't forget Bomb Squad were the experts. And man, Bomb Squad, whoa. I'll say this, and for anybody that probably don't know what I'm talking about, for reference, go listen to Fear of a Black Planet. That has to be, out of all Public Enemies, and I know Nation of Millions put them on the map, but to me, the best PE album, hands down. I will fight you about it. I will argue with you. Man, we can go outside and square up about it. To me, Fear of a Black Planet has to be the best Public Enemy album ever. Because like on certain albums a long time ago, they probably had a record go, it'll fade out, probably a small little brief pause, and then they go into the next one. There's always that cut, right? Where Fear of a Black Planet, from the time you put it on, it just keeps going, but there's so much stuff going on. It goes into the next song. There's not that space where the song fades out at the end and then it comes in with a new song. It just, they scratch, they cut, they transition right into the next song and keep that energy on Fear of the Black Planet. Wow. So
yeah, man.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, so if I say that Enoch's Concerto would have any particular influence, as I said, if I would say Fearless Fred Fury will be an influence, but more so in, like I said, the up-to-date instrumentation going on, where there's a lot of stuff going on and it's just not a linear track where it's verse, chorus, or chorus, verse, whatever. But there's just so much going on that a sound will pop up, it'll snap your attention like, wait, what the hell was that? And it just keeps going on to the next one. So I would say Enoch's Concerto would definitely be heavily influenced with the musical stylings and the techniques going on to make the music of the Bomb Squad on Fear of a Black Planet and Fearless Fred Fury. I'm listening to everything, even Tech Nine too, but those are the first two things that come to mind.
All right, I can't wait to hear everything that you just talked about. I can't wait to hear it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
All right, so I've got a question that Gilgamesh told me to ask you, and to me, it's pretty specific in a very general way, if that makes sense. I'm just going to ask the question. What producer have you worked with that was up to snuff?
Up to snuff? Producers, I will say, I don't even know what I'm thinking about this. First person that come to mind is James Alias. Like, I know he's my boy, and it seems like you got to give your boy the obligatory shout out, but seriously, I'm trying to think of some stuff that he's done, and he has a history in the Wicked Underground too. Like, with me and him co-produced Bedlam's album on Chemical Imbalances Volume 2, and I got 3 tracks on Shock Treatment. He did the rest of Shock Treatment, and he even got, I think, a couple tracks on their Bedlamite's Rise, the one with Check the Children on there with Mike Clark. I would say James Alias, other producers that come to mind. I know I can't really say that me and Bad Mind had like a back and forth production. We worked together. I mean, he did some stuff on Sins of an Angel way back, and he even got a track. He got a track on Enoch's Concerto too. But Bad Mind, I watch what Bad Mind do. I mean, Bad Mind got some stuff on AXE. I think he got some stuff. He might have some stuff on Underground. I think it's Underground Avengers and some other stuff too. Bad Mind's a dope producer. Reno, on a production tip, when Reno went to do his own production, I'd probably say communication kind of went down. That's not to say that I haven't tapped him for instrumentation or anything like that, because I told him I want to pick up a beat. But my thing is, if you don't hear from me a lot, it's not that I'm ignoring you. I think I'm too good to talk to you. I'm a busy dude. People say, oh, well, you will make time for whatever you're not busy with. No, like I get up at 3:30 in the morning. My day doesn't necessarily end till 10 at night, and sometimes it ends at 11 or 12 at night from 3:30 in the morning. I gotta wake up the same time again. So production-wise, there's a lot of people that come to mind. Production-wise, G Pierce. If you don't know G Pierce, you better know G Pierce. He got some stuff on Project Dead Man. He works more with like mainstream people. He worked with, the list just goes on. Twister, DMX, MC Bree, TDF on Top Authority. Dr. Dre. He has a catalog that goes big. He got a soundtrack. He got some songs. I think he produced the Dangerous Mind soundtrack. If I'm not mistaken, he might have been one of the producers on Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise too. G Pierce is that dude. G Pierce is a big dude. Mike Clark, he hit me up when he was doing his murder mixes back when he was on Psychopathic Records. I mean, I think a lot of people know that now, so it ain't like I'm pulling a cat out the bag, whatever, or telling some big secret. Like, he tapped me up, I want to say 2009, he tapped me and hit up Q Strange too, because we were supposed to get tracks on his first Murder Mix music tapes, and he hit me up, wanting me to send him vocals and what have you. I want to work with Mike Clark, and I know Mike Clark, dope producer, real dope producer and everything, but yeah, he went off, did his thing with Kid Rock and what have you, and I don't know what Mike Clark doing right now. I know I got him on Instagram and what have you. I used to have him on Facebook too, but Mike Clark's somebody I want to work with too. Fritz the Cat. Can't forget Fritz the Cat. Fritz the Cat, production-wise, haven't hit him up yet because I want to make sure, I don't want to hit nobody up saying, oh, can you do me a favor? No, if I hit people up, I want to pay you for your work and everything. Like my homeboy James, that's my homeboy, but I still paid him too. I paid him for production work on Enos Concerto, amongst some other things too. Like if your work is good, I'm gonna pay you for it because just like I want to get paid for my work, so I'm not gonna sit there and try to hit you saying, "Oh, come on, look out for me" and everything. Like, hey, just tell me your price, and depending on what the price is, if it's a little steep and I need to come back to you to make sure I have the money in order, I will. If it's good, all right, here you go, pay for it and what have you. But yeah, Fritz, I want to hit him up for some production too, but I know I work with Fritz. He mastered The Great Stairwell. He mastered Kill God. He mastered Haunted Fear 3. Fritz is dope. Don't sleep on Fritz. Fritz is dope. Like I said, I turned to him for the mastering engineering. Other producers, like there's a lot of ROC. Here's a story about ROC. When I was going through my thing in 2011, ROC reached out to me and what have you. He said he understood everything I was going through. We got on the phone. We had probably like a 2-hour conversation. We talked. I mean, I knew ROC before that too. Brian, I knew him before that. But he reached out to me and like, yeah, we was up there talking, had similar situations going on and everything. He even gave me a beat too. Only problem was in 2011 and 12, I kind of thought I was putting V Sinizter to the side for a bit. Let me get my mind recentered, refocused. He gave me a beat, but I was terrible with keeping. I mean, I ain't gonna say I was bad, but the beat that he gave me, I want to say it might be on my hard drive that I don't use anymore because the computer ultimately kind of went down. I think the beat might still be on there, but I want to hit on ROC for some beats because there's one beat in particular. Matter of fact, this might be giving the cat out the bag, and it's for Prozac, but you know what? Prozac, you'll be all right. Prozac cool. No, Prozac cool. He'll be all right, though. On his Project Dead Man, he let me and my former manager, may he rest in peace, he let us listen to a sampler, and ROC did a beat for Project Dead Man that was on there that I was listening to, and I was like, that beat is crazy. It had Tech 9 on it. It was supposed to be Prozac, Tech 9, and ROC, but Prozac replaced with King Gordy. But Brian did his beat that was on there, and I was like, that beat is ridiculously crazy. It was, I couldn't even describe it, but it was so crazy. And I was like, wow, how come Prozac didn't keep that beat? That, man. And then it was another song that ROC did. It was I'm Here for I think it's I can't think of the name of that album he did. I think it was on Hatchet House he did, but it's called I'm Here. That one, that beat is crazy. So I tapped ROC for Enos Concerto. I want him to do the track because the stuff he comes up with is crazy. Like the production is it's crazy, but I want an ROC beat for that, for whatever we do. But when we do collab, it has to it can't just feel like a random track thrown out there that does not have anything to do with the album overall. It has to tie in with the album overall, but it has to be an ROC beat. I mean, I could do the beat because I do crazy stuff too, but it's ROC. I want ROC to do it. So production-wise, people I dealt with, or I at least want to deal with in the future. Like I said, all right, Cat Bad, I gotta beat some Bad Mind for Enos Concerto, but I want to do more work. Now, Bad Mind also is a video game head too. With him being a video game head, I made a post on my page before saying, Bad Mind, I know you a video game head, you like me, so I know that you gotta listen to video game music too. The post he talking about with video games, I know you gotta listen to video game music too. So I want to do a verse with Bad Mind. Not just wicked underground beats or wicked rap beats, but video game music. Pick the topic or the setting and what have you. We compose around that, and it's me against Bad Mind. But as far as working with him, hell yeah. Like I said, I got one for Enos Concerto from Bad Mind. I want one for Reno too. Reno, he definitely is. He gravitated more toward the hip hop sensibility to boom bap and everything. I want a boom bap Reno beat from Enos Concerto. I want ROC. I already talked about ROC. Mm-hmm. James, he got a whole bunch of stuff on Enos Concerto. I hit him up for that. He got a whole bunch of stuff on there. Fritz, I want to hit up Fritz too. I want to make sure it's not going to cost me a house and home. Robert Rebeck, He works with Tech Nine. He's on my page, but I'm pretty sure Rob Rebeck gonna cost a lot of money. But if he's in the price range, I'll talk to my partners at Storm Rook, and let's see if Rob Rebeck could be willing to give me a. Let me take that back. Not give me a beat, but let's make sure it's not gonna cost a couple mortgages for a beat, though.
Right.
Yeah, because he Rob Rebeck. I still remember.
Man.
Yeah, you remember Show Me a God?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, show me. He showed out on Show Me a God. I want something like that, because that will fit definitely what Enoch Concerto is. And yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, so we're coming up on the hour.
Yeah, I'm sorry for talking my head.
Oh no, man. That's what this is for. I love it. I love it. All this whole conversation, I absolutely love it. I'm gonna give you the floor. You can shout out whatever you want, plug whatever you want, but I ask you to do one thing.
And what is that?
Give a positive message to the people that are listening.
Oh, okay. Well, before I give a shout out, I want to give a positive message to the people as listening. I want them to know that, as I said before, I'm not just saying this because it's Sober Juggalos, because if there's other interviews, you will see I talk about that too. I try to stay positive. I want to say is don't wallow in hate from other people. Don't wallow in the negativity and the hate from other people, because what that does is you invite negativity into your mind, and that's what'll make you turn to alcohol and drugs to try to cope with the negativity you're dealing with from somebody else. Find something positive in your life. It don't necessarily have to be music. I mean, music is a good thing, but it could be art. It could be writing, read. Find something that you love doing, that you feel like, out of anything in the world that you may not like, find something in the world that you do like. That it don't have to be anything lecherous or salacious. Something good, academic or whatever the case may be. Just find something that you can focus positive energy on and turn to that. Build from that. Don't just sit around and wallow in the misery that people are dumping upon you. I mean, if you break up with a girl, you break up with your boyfriend or whatever, if life ain't going right, if this ain't going right, find something that is going right. Use that as an anchor to guide you through the storm, and then go from there. And just don't dwell on negativity, because one thing I used to do all the time when I was coming up in the underground, I used to dwell on that a lot. And one thing it kind of messed with me and everything. Like, it's like people being so negative about what I'm doing, and they had so many negative things to say, and I used to dwell on that, and it used to kind of hurt. But after a while, it was kind of like, you know what? I'm not even gonna work. I'm gonna do what makes me happy. If it makes me happy, and I love the same way Haunted Fear 3, how you were excited about that, that's because I did it because it made me happy. Before I focused on, well, I'm gonna do this to make this particular group happy, make this particular group happy, I'm gonna make me happy first. And if somebody don't like it, hey, at least with me, I'm happy with it. I love it. So you're gonna have people that ain't gonna like what you do. You're gonna have people that like what you do. Just focus on the people that like what you do. And if anybody says anything negative, don't pay on no mind. I know it's easier said than done, believe me. I want to tell you, it's easier said than done. But in this stage of my life right now with Storm Rook Entertainment, I'm focused on nothing but positivity and just trying to bring it to any and everybody who want to hear it, listen to it, read it, whatever the case may be. Now, let's move to the shout-outs. The shout-outs, let me run down the line. First, I want to shout out, a lot of people, my listeners are split up and what have you and everything. Atheists, non-atheists, whatever the case may be. But hey, I gotta give a shout out to God. That's another conversation for another time, because there's certain aspects about God I do believe, but if I was to tell you the full scoop, it's coming in the music. But if I was to tell you what I believe, people look at me like you are out your mind. But it's all perspective, what have you. I want to give a shout out to, may she rest in peace forever. I love my mom. My mom passed away the week that Natural Born Killers came out, and the month that Haunted Fear 3 came out. She heard Haunted Fear 3 before I died and told me that when I was giving her a ride home from a birthday party I attended, she told me that she loved If You Can't Take the Heat. She was listening to Can't Take the Heat. She said it was in mixing process, and she said that she couldn't understand the words fully, but she loved the beat, and she felt that was gonna be a hit, and I should push that. I was like, yeah, I don't know if the audience, the kind of people you want me to push it to, are ready for that, but hey, I'm glad you loved it. That was the last thing she heard from me before she passed away. I want to give a shout out to Josh. I mean, I don't want to run over too long of an hour and everything, but I want to give a shout out to Josh. Josh, when I was at my lowest and didn't want to do the music and I thought I was going to quit, Josh Philly kept it going. He said, take the time you need, step away. I got this. I'll run the site. I'll do whatever. I'll keep it going. Do what you got to do. And then when you're ready to come back, let's get it going. Josh kept it going. That's why we're doing this interview right now. Josh stays on top of everything. I get up in the morning. Hey, B, you got this done. You got that done. I need this. I need that. I'll get it done. I'll get this done. He stays on top of it. Want to also give a shout out to CN Matthews. She's new to Stormwork Entertainment, but she came aboard as the administrative side of it. Josh handles the social media presence, promotion, and merchandise. And CN handles the administrative side, talking to companies, business, networking, trying to get our company working with other companies and doing business, and also finding new opportunities. And I want to give her a shout out too. When one of my tablets went down that I was normally do cartoons with, went down, she made sure she got on the phone, got me a Wacom that same week. Within 3 days that my tablet went down, got a Wacom for me, and I was able to get everything going again. CN Matthews is an absolute beast, one of the best people to come aboard Stormwork, and she's on fire. Gilgamesh, can't forget Gil. He set up this interview and a bunch of other interviews too. He came aboard Stormwork as kind of my not so much he's I can't think of the word, it's escaping right now, I know my time's up. But he functions as setting up the interviews for me and finding opportunities to promote the brand that we have. So he's I can't think of the word, but I told him, he knows what because I told him what he does. I just can't think of the word right now. Also want to give a shout out to all the fans and people watching this. Yes, I know y'all gonna say, God, he talk. Yes, I do, because my head is full of ideas and so much I want to get out there. I apologize. I got so much to say. I would try to keep it down, but give a shout out to all the fans, all the supporters, all the people who never gave up on me. I can't also forget Christopher McGrath. Christopher Set McGrath. He was another longtime diehard supporter that never gave up on me and everything, and always promoted me. Want to give a shout out to James Alias, my older brother, because he only older than me by a couple weeks or so. He does music, Lethal Legacy. Give a shout out to my homeboy Steve, aka Defect. He always looking out for me and everything. I helped him move arcade cabinets, messed up my back for a week, but that's my little brother though. Whenever you need me, I'm gonna be there. Give a shout out to my homeboy Adam Staples, using Forest Room Studios, also 1/4 Natural Born Killers. Speaking of which, Natural Born Killers, Coming to the Blood is out on social media. You can go to anywhere, look it up, YouTube Music, Spotify, whatever, look up Coming to the Blood, MBK, check it out. Has Defect, correction, let me use the real names, Ed Kemper, Boone Helm, Carl Grossman, and TZK, the Zodiac Killer. Check that out. Also, you mentioned Haunted Fear 3 is out too. You can find that on many social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you listen to music, you can find Haunted Fear 3 there too. Lethal Legacy's coming soon. It was supposed to come on the 15th, but got to get my team in order, but that's coming out. Legacy Forever. Enoch's Concerto coming out first quarter of next year. Double album. We're going to pull out all the stops for it. Pick up Enoch's Concerto. Also want to give a shout out to my homeboy from Saginaw, up and coming, Finisher DG. I was confusing up and comer and Finisher, but Finisher DG. He's doing his thing. He's coming out with music and he's coming up in the scene. And man, I hate to shout. I keep forgetting. I feel like I'm forgetting people. I don't want to forget nobody because a whole lot of people mean something to me and people do everything. But business-wise, these are all the people that do it for me for business. I can't forget my brother Mac the Jacket too. He got my nephews coming out too. You can follow them on Instagram too. I wish I had their name before me and I forgot what name they go by, but You can follow me on Instagram. You'll see they drop by, follow them. They are doing it big in music too. Like I said, music runs the blood, and Max Jack will lead the way. But now look up Bank Boys or Bank of America Boys on Instagram. You will see all the Bank of America Boys on there. You can follow them. They doing their thing. And I want to say that is it. If I missed anybody, forgive me later. I should have just made a list. This would make it. And I also want to apologize. Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to put all of your social media, all of your website, everything that you have. It'll be in the description right here. So if they watch this video, they can go and find you instantly. Then
Josh can go kill me for this. Oh, man. Can I say one more thing? I promise it'll be real quick. I hope people can catch it. All right. So Josh won't kill me. I forgot Stonework Entertainment. It's an entertainment company. We're coming out with a multitude of projects underneath the Stonework umbrella. Let's start out. V Sinizter. We talked about that. I don't got to cover that. It Could Be Worse. Comic strip. You can find it on Instagram and the Facebook page. It Could Be Worse. Comic strip. Working on that. Season 4 coming out February 28th. I'm working on that. Check it out February 28th. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Next up is Soldier Blade comic book. We put that out November 1st. It's an Ash Can edition. Soldier Blade 0, Phoenix Reborn. We're looking at the 4-issue miniseries of Phoenix Resurrection. Coming out probably the second half of next year. Soldier Blade, Phoenix Resurrection. 4-issue miniseries. Next after that, Eternal Worlds. My 20 series books. 20 books, Eternal Worlds. We're talking about books. That was like Twilight, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. Books of that nature. I'm working on that too. It's called Eternal Worlds. First 2 books are coming out next year. We're getting that in order together right now. Next up, Vigilante Strike, video game music. You will find that on my YouTube channel, Vincenzo Koshimatsu Music, or Vinco Music. For video game music, Vigilante Strike 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Heaven Soul 1, 2, and 3, and Iron Soldier 1. Video game music, that means the vocal or voices will be to the bare minimum, because if you like Super Mario, or no, let me turn it around. Final Fight, Streets of Rage, Street Fighter 2, or any music of that vein, that's what you'll find in Vigilante Strike, Volume 1 and 2. Hostage Crisis, Fire in the Sky coming out next year. I'm working. As soon as I get off the phone with you, I'm going back to put it together. That's out the way. Last thing, Fitness Fantasy, aka Frankenstein Fitness. I do fitness on Instagram. I'm putting videos up next year. I have a whole lot of people that was following my progress. I had to take a break to get that in order, but Jacob Vargas, Dan Henderson, Rich Gaspari, bunch of people following Frankenstein Fitness. You can find that on Instagram. And that is it. Our time is up. We're 6 minutes past. Sorry for talking so long, but I want to thank you for holding this interview. Thank you for giving me that energy back. You just made me have to go work on some more stuff because of the energy you gave back too.
Go knock that shit out, man. You do great work. I can't wait. We're gonna have to do this again.
Hey, just let me know when.
All right, I'll hit Gilgamesh up. Make sure you got your calendar open.
All right, fantastic.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, later.
Peace.
Peace.